Yeah, my people, I want to tell you a truth that if you do not know, maybe you have not been taught, if you don't have it, it will make you a mediocre in spiritual things. I went to a church, and the instruction in that church is you cannot pray in tongues. And some churches are like that. You cannot pray in tongues. Because the people who started the church many years ago were unable to speak in tongues. And they said that speaking in tongues is for the old, before the time of the apostle. It does not happen now. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Whatever is written in the Bible is doable. Jesus even told us, he said, much more shall we do, much more than he did. So, if you cannot pray in tongue, you are deficient. The tool of spiritual conquest have been denied you. You see, if you cannot pray in tongue, if you pray in the natural, you speak all you can, all you are doing is just repetition, you are limited. I'm going to read the scripture right now for you to know the importance of speaking in tongues and grow from speaking in tongues and speaking in angelic tongue to groaning in the spirit. Listen, I'm going to read from the book of the great book of the Romans, chapter 8 from 26. It says, likewise the Spirit also helpeth our infirmity. We have infirmity. We are limited. For we know not what we should pray. Can you hear that? For as we ought, the will, capacity, the intensity of prayer, we don't know. It says, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groaning which cannot be uttered. You see, the Spirit will take over. And what is the Spirit speaking? The Spirit is speaking the language of heaven, through you. 27, and he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit. The mind of the Spirit is the Spirit of God, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. Sometimes we do not know the will of God. When it takes over, he started praying in us and with us. You can see, if you have not come to the level of speaking in tongue and keep practicing speaking in tongue and improving it, you are joking. You are being you are only in the surface, no depth. Yes, no depth. Speaking in tongue bring depth to spiritual exercise. Are you getting what I'm talking about? So praying in tongue is important. If you have not, seek and you will find. It took me time. I read the Bible when I was a younger Christian, and I realized I couldn't speak in tongue. Why? Because of my mind was so critical. I was judging everything they are speaking in church. When we speak, they speak in tongue. I say, hey, I heard that one last week. Is he saying the same? Oh, well, I blocked my ability to advance to pray in tongue because of my mind. When I realized what I was doing to myself, and I started speaking to when that thought comes to me, I will say, no, it's true. whatever they are speaking is true. It's true. I start talking to myself, changing myself, changing my thoughts so that I can get to that point where I could break loose. I keep doing that to myself, until one day, even I fasted for it. It was still denied me. But on the one day I decided, went to the headquarters, of CPM. And during that time, the GO, that is Reverend Ezekiel, will go during Christmas. He goes to Anambra State, his home state, and to mix with his people and do whatever he wants to do over there. Then Dan Selesi will take over. Pastor Dan will take over. And Pastor Dan took over that. I was in headquarters, and he started praying. That 25th of December was praying tongues. As they were going up, he came down and was touching people, touching their head to speak in tongues. And he came to me. At the moment he touched me, my head, you know what? I felt some coldness in my throat. I want to pray, I couldn't. I want to speak, I couldn't. It became, I don't know what blocked it. Then suddenly I forced myself to do it. When I forced myself, I started speaking like a woman, a tiny voice. I was speaking tiny voice. It's funny. It looks funny when you hear it. But I did not stop because of my desire to speak in tongue. You understand me? I continued speaking and my throat was hurting because of that. I was forcing it. When I went home that day, I knelt down again to pray. It was still like that, until I keep doing it. Suddenly, it's like something just opened, whoom, and I started speaking with my natural tongue. And you know what? It was a delight. I was so happy. Since then, I started speaking in an unknown tongue, diverse tongue, not just particular, diverse tongue. Are you getting my meaning? So it is possible. Stay on it. Desire it. It's a spirit. They say the spirit of God suffereth violence, and the violent shall take it by force. Violence, that's why you got to stay on it, and you get it. Don't be defeated. It's satanic attack. Don't be defeated, and you grow your life not speaking in tongue and say, no, it's not for this time. It is for this time. Are you getting me? Stay on it. Speak in tongue. It's a great spiritual exercise. It's growth. If you cannot speak in tongue, you will not be able to defeat the enemy at the highest level. It is important for us to be able to speak in tongue. You speak in tongue, you grow in your prayer. Heaven will get involved. Heaven, they know your heart. They know everything that's going to happen tomorrow. Then they pray through you to combat whatever the devil has against you and against anybody that the Spirit will use you to pray for. God bless you.